All right, thanks, guys. We are coming fresh off a 5-1 day in our 6 premium sports picks on BrockPage.com. We're also 8-1 in our last 9 NFL tier package picks on that very same webpage. We currently have over 945 members who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to see which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at BrockPage.com. The Kings take on the Mavericks, 3:30 p.m. Eastern start time. Dallas is -4.5, totals 219. Now the Mavs score fewer points per contest than any other team in the association. They're dead last in scoring, dead last in offensive field goal percentage. Now, the Mavs also failed to cover the point spread in their last 3 straight, 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. They're taking on a Sacramento team who's on a 2-game winning streak themselves, and they're 3-0 straight up when traveling this year. The Kings are in the top 5 in road scoring, and they're also making nearly 40% of their three-pointers away from home. Harrison Barnes is making 53% of his three-pointers himself, 25 points a game for Barnes. Meanwhile, De'Aaron Fox is scoring over 19 points a game, along with 4 boards, 6 assists. Sacramento's in the top 10 in fourth quarter scoring on the road. When it comes to the injury report, Sacramento's relatively healthy right now. Meanwhile, for Dallas, Brown and Porzingis, they are both listed as questionable. Now, total-wise, Dallas is 2-0 to the under at home, 5-0 to the under for the whole year. Meanwhile, Sacramento's 3-1 to the under in their last 4 themselves. I'm going to lean towards Sacramento plus 4.5 in the under 219. Next game, Jazz Bucks, 7 o'clock Eastern start time. Utah's -1.5, totals 223. Utah's 4-1 straight up on the season, 4-1 against the spread in those contests. The Jazz lead the NBA in defending the 3-ball. They're holding their opponents to just 23% shooting from downtown. Royce O'Neal's averaging a couple of steals a night, 4 rebounds for the forward. Meanwhile, Rudy Gobert is averaging 18 rebounds a night, along with 17 points. Now the Jazz, they're also holding their opponents to just 38% shooting from the field on the road. They're taking on a Milwaukee squad who's still going to work without Lopez and Holiday. The Bucks are also in a 2-game losing streak, and they find themselves in the second of a back-to-back here today. Milwaukee's in the bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, total-wise, Milwaukee's 3-0 to the under at the Fiserv Forum, 4-2 to the under for the entire season. Meanwhile, the Jazz are 3-0 to the under when traveling, 4-1 to the under for the entire season themselves. I'm going to lean toward Utah -1.5 in the under 223. Next matchup, Blazers Hornets, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Portland's -1, totals 230. Now, Portland's on a 2-game winning streak, 3-1 straight up in their last 4. CJ McCollum scoring over 24 points a game, 4 rebounds, couple assists for CJ. McCollum's also drilling 45% of his three-pointers and 90% of his foul shots. Meanwhile, Dame Lillard, he's hitting 95% from the stripe himself, 19 points a game and 7 assists for Dame. Portland's in the top 3 in offensive rebounding, and they're averaging 114 points a game. Now, they're taking on a Charlotte team who struggled defensively. They're allowing 131 points a game at home, and they rank in the bottom 3 in defensive field goal percentage. Now, total-wise, Charlotte's 2-0 to the over on their home court, 4-2 to the over for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward Portland -1 in the over 230. Next contest, Pistons Nets, 7:30 Eastern start time. Brooklyn's -12.5, totals 214. Now the Nets have failed to cover in their last 2 straight, 1-3 against the spread in their last 4. The Nets are going to work here today without Millsap and Claxton. They're also struggling to put points up on the board. 99 points a game they're scoring on their home court. They're taking on a Detroit team who covered the point spread in their last 2 straight. They're also in the top 10 in fourth quarter scoring on the road. Jeremy Grant's averaging 17 points a game along with 6 rebounds, couple assists. Grant's also averaging a couple of steals a game defensively. Meanwhile, Sadiq Bey, he's averaging over 17 points a night himself, along with 9 rebounds. Isaiah Livers is listed as questionable for Detroit. When it comes to the number in this one, Brooklyn's 4-0 to the under at the Barclays Center, 6-0 to the under for the entire season. I'm going to lean toward Detroit plus 12.5 and the under 214. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup. It is going to be Rockets versus the Lakers, 10:30 Eastern tip. LA's minus 12, totals 222. The Lakers have failed to cover the point spread in 3 out of their last 4 home games. They're also giving up 117 points a night, and they give up more third-quarter points than any other team in the association. LeBron and AD, they're both listed as questionable. Nunn and Ariza, they're both still out indefinitely. Now they're taking on a Houston club who's actually in the top 10 in offensive three-point percentage. Christian Wood is scoring over 19.5 points a game, 11 boards, and 46% shooting from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, Eric Gordon's making over 52% of his three-pointers himself, 13 points a game for Gordon. Now defensively, Houston's in the top 10 in fewest fourth-quarter points allowed. When it comes to the total in this one, 3 out of LA's last 4 got over the line. 4-2 to the over in their last 6. I'm going to lean toward Houston plus 12 and the over 222. With that, guys, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are 8-1 in our last 9 NFL tier package picks. I like Sacramento plus 4.5, under 219. Utah minus 1.5, under 223. Portland minus 1, over 230. Detroit plus 12.5, under 214. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we are 8-1 in our last 9 NFL tier package picks on brockpage.com. I'm going to lean toward Houston plus 12 in the over 222. And with that, guys, now it's time for our shout out of the day. And that's going to go to D-Block Express, who said earlier this morning, keep up the good work. I watch every week. And to that, I say thank you very much. And hey, if you want to start watching every day or every other day, I'd be more than happy if you did that as well. But once a week is good too. I appreciate it. D-Block Express, thank you for the comment. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on that website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today, you're only going to get access to that content for one day. So I'd probably advise you maybe to wait until tomorrow. I always tell folks in every video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.